Okay, I'm going to go through the corrections with you now for the E-Maths Prelim Paper 1. We'll do E-Maths Paper 1, then Paper 2, followed by A-Maths Paper 1, Paper 2. Alright, now let's begin. Now, if you look at this particular question, they ask you to calculate this. Actually, this question, no big deal. If you were to press your calculator, right? Okay, if those who have not gotten this question correct, you just press your calculator, right? Exactly, you get this answer coming out. Okay, so all you have to do is to transfer whatever you have in your calculator to the blank space here. But what many of you did is you go and round off to 1.67. Now, why did you do that? The question only asks you to express in standard form. They didn't say express in 3SF, they didn't. And this is exact. This is an exact answer. So you do not do that, okay? You do not express this as this. This is wrong. Okay? So some of you got 0 for this very easy question. Now for the next question, you're supposed to write in order of size starting with the smallest. So you must read question carefully. And if you do know the number line very well, 0 is here, -1, -2, and so forth, right? So the order, you must really know that you must start with those that are here, and then you slowly increase, okay? What you need to do, right, is to press your calculator, you get this, press calculator, get this. This is just divide by 100, all right? And this is, of course, just whatever it is. Now, as you can see, the so-called, if you just look at the number without a negative, the so-called absolute value, if it's bigger, is smaller actually. So 3, 3, 3, 3, nothing to compare. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, nothing to compare, right? They're all the same. So we will start comparing after the 4. Now, 1 is here, okay, so 2, 2, 3. So this 1 has to be the biggest, okay? So it's because it's 1, the rest are all 2 and 3. The 3 is far towards this end, right? So this has to be the last number because it is the biggest, okay? And the greatest number is this fella here. I mean the smallest number the smallest number has to be this number here, followed by between this and this, okay, this is smaller, okay, so this will be the second number, and this will be the third number, and of course this is the last number. Okay, remember when you transfer your number, you do not write any one of these numbers. It must be the original number that you put inside this blank space here. Okay, now so that's the answer. We'll move on. Now find in, okay, one thing I want you to take note, if you notice that it's a 2-mark question, then it'll be good to show all this working, all right, because they will give you 1 mark for this and another accuracy mark for this. It's good to show this just in case you get the order wrong. You will still get marks for pressing the calculator correctly, all right? As to how many DP or what to give it to if you show working, in this particular case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is more than enough already. It's just the number of DP that is sufficient for you to compare. So this one actually is 3 DP, right? 3 DP. So 4 actually is sufficient, okay? But if you write more, that's fine also. Now for this question, a number of you who didn't get this correct, the reason is you didn't draw a diagram. Now a diagram is really very powerful. It helps you save time, save brain power during exam, and most importantly, it helps you to solve the question. Okay, so if you were to do it right, because this is so-called a circle, right? So you just label 2, 4. 2, 4 is somewhere here. Write the coordinates down. 5 is more to the right. 1 is somewhere lower than this 4, right? So this is 5, 1. Now, if I were to draw a circle, I draw any circle, I draw a circle like that, passing through these 2 points, right? Or I draw a bigger circle passing through these 2 points. Okay, that will be a gentler one here. Okay, these are all very big circles. So the smallest one is the one with this line joining these 2 points as the diameter. Okay, and once you know that, you look for the, you use the length formula, the length of the diameter. Okay, you can actually leave it as this because this is E-maths, right? But never mind, you practice your certs. So those who are weak in certs, right, I revise a bit. Certs, right, in order to simplify it, you think in terms of prime numbers. So you divide by 2 first. Oh, if you can divide by 2, then the next line you will just write the value of square root 9, which is 3, and then square root 2. So this is the simplest cert form if it's A maths. But for E maths, right, you're actually not expected to know all this, okay? So you can just write the answer as this, and because this is just an intermediate answer, you can throw it now into this area formula. And area, please take note, the formula for area is pi r square. Many of you wrote 2 pi r. I don't know why. 2 pi r is the perimeter. Okay, so this you learn in kindergarten, I think. So you should actually know all this very well. This throw inside here, you will find that, okay, I show you 2 different methods. This is the so-called the A maths way, because you take this, must be r, right? So you take the diameter divided by 2. Okay, divide by 2. Yeah, then you get the radius and then you get this answer. But if you had done this, square root 18, because this E-maths don't expect you to be able to rationalize and all that. This will be 18 over 4. Again, you get 9 over 2 of this, which is 4.5 pi. Now in E-maths, right, the expectation is to have mixed number. You cannot write your answer in improper. Okay, so take note of that. E-maths is particular about such things. Now, E-maths, paper 1, right, there will surely be a question on misleading graph, something like that. So if imagine Miss Xiao next year's O level, right, then she show this result like that. It is not it's not going to really give much info, okay? Of course, this is about the kilotons of food wastage, but she will not show this. She will actually zoom in on this scale, right? She will zoom in here to give a more so-called to show people what is really the difference lah. Okay, but now we are talking about food waste and because this is in kilotons, right, you imagine anybody looking at this if they didn't notice this, right, what do you think they will conclude? They will conclude that, oh, actually not much, it's insignificant lah, the change the food wastage, right, over the years. There's not much of a difference. Okay, before that I think many of you during exam you would have checked this. Yeah, they all run in order. There's no skipping of years, so that's fine. The other thing is it starts from 0. Okay, that's nothing to say also. But you see because this is in kilotons, right, so the units is in kilotons. So the scale that's being chosen, right, for the vertical axis is inappropriate lah. Because it's just like that, right, then you would think that not much difference. So the thing about misleading graph, right, is you must always state the aspect that is misleading. That's number 1. The second thing, how it misleads or how it may mislead the reader. Okay, so the difference in the food wastage across the year seems less significant than it should be Alright, you take a look at this, then you will know what I mean. Okay, now the next one is okay, some of you try to use algebra, but you know why you cannot use algebra? I know some of you I saw you working, you say let x be this, then this one be this. Now under normal circumstances, yes, okay, most of the time in the O level yeah, this one is okay, because this number times this number will give you so-called another number. But then you read carefully, right? Many of you didn't read the product of this, right, is a rounded off answer. So because it's rounded off you cannot find the exact value of this and then get the answer, cannot, you see. Okay, so in this particular question I would say it's a very primary school question you see the first step here, right? The first step here is to square root this. Then we get 449.56. Now what does this number tell us? This number tells us that probably, right, it's 448 times, because we cannot take 449.56 times 449.56 because they are both positive integers, you see. So it means that it must be some number near to it, then later they go and round off. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this is something like trial and error. Yeah, actually I don't really like this question, but never mind. 449, right? You go and multiply, you get this. And then you go and take 449 times 450. That means the next consecutive number then you get this. Okay, then you will find that, oh, when you round off, does this give you this or does this give you this? So of course this is the one that gives you this. If you want to try 447,448 also can, but it doesn't really it is from this answer, from this so-called square rooted value here, right? It doesn't imply to you that this is the answer, you see. Okay, you think about it and you know what I mean. So these are the two that they want the sum, so that's your answer. Okay, now we move on. Now, for this kind of question, they give you the shape, the graph. That's very nice of them. They want you to actually know all these words. So, y is inversely proportional to x means y equals k over x. This is a number, correct? So actually, what we want is a reciprocal graph. Reciprocal graph looks either like that, like that, like that, or like that, right? Okay. Sorry, it doesn't touch the x-axis there. Okay. Now, which one is it? It has to be these two, or if you don't know, you just press calculator lah. So it's these two. So you look at the given graph here. Which one is the one that is most similar? Y is inversely proportional to x, like that. Okay, so you check which is the one. So it has to be this particular one. Am I correct? Then now you go to the next one. Y equals to x, and where x is an odd integer greater than 1. So y equals to xn, and x is an odd integer greater than 1. That means x cubed. Is it? Yeah, so it can be x cubed, x5, x7, whatever. But your syllabus only has x cubed. But even x5, x7 and all that, they will have the same shape. So I hope you remember that this is cubic graph. And cubic graph, as we mentioned before last year, it looks similar to your tangent graph. So it looks like that, right? And that would be E. Okay? E, so that is the answer. Now the next part, y equals to nx, where n is an integer greater than 1. So y equals to maybe 2 lor. Isn't this the exponential aeroplane graph? Okay, so we will now move on to the next part to see where and which is the graph. Isn't it B? Okay, so this is B, because this is the one that we are talking about. All right, now the next part is okay, now if I want you to think about it, you have what we call oh, sorry, I think I made a mistake here, because this scale here is 1 over x, right? So cannot be this one. All right, so what we have is actually this particular one. Okay, I'm going to go through every one of you with now every one of this graph with you now. So this is one, y equals k times this, right? Okay, so this is actually your this fella here, just now we mentioned, right? Okay, yeah, so I forgot to tell you that there's a trick here. There's a trick here. Now, how about this? This one is the normal one, so this is the correct one. Okay, now next one. Now this one, y equals 1 over x. Is it like that? Okay, when you plot y equals to 1 over x, then you get this, right? Then this is not the answer for this particular one, okay? Because if you think about it, we want a direct relationship between y and 1 over x, okay? This one is not. This one is actually, if you remember your direct and inverse proportion, right? This is actually not the one, okay? Now, how about this? This, if you remember your log graph or your ln graph, this is like your log graph or your ln graph. Okay, then how do we find this value? Let's say this is an A maths question, then you want to find this value, right? So how do you find this value? You need to understand that at this point there is an x value, but the y value is 0. So 2 to the power of 0 is x. So x equals 1, okay? So this is 1. Okay, I'll use this opportunity to just go through some other stuff. If this is 3, right, then you will realize that x is 1/3. Okay, so that's how it goes. So be very careful with the argument here. Don't always assume that this is 1. Alright, okay, now next part. Okay, this part is actually, if you, okay, it's actually not really of concern here, but if you think of the line y equal x, okay, then you flip this, right, you will get this. Okay, so this is actually another kind of graph lah, but you don't have to be bothered by it. You just need to remember that your tangent graph is similar to your cubic graph. So this is y equals to x cubed graph. Alright, you think about it. Should this be y equals 1 over x cubed graph, since it is symmetrical about the line y equals to x? You think about it. Okay, now we go to the next one. Now the next one, some of you make very careless errors, like 5 plus 4 plus 6, right? Some of you write 16. I don't know why. 5 plus 4 plus 6. This is 10, so it's 15. Okay, which means that the number here should be 15, and then you want 6 parts of it because you want the savings. You are investing the savings from this commission, right? You earn this commission, this money. Okay, then this is the money you invested. Now, the interest rate, is per annum, okay? 0.25%, but it's compounded quarterly. Now, in a year, what do you mean by compounded quarterly? In a year, if you compound it half yearly, it is 2 times a year. If you compound it quarterly, it is 4 times a year. Okay? If you compound it every month, then it's 12 lah. So in this case, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 times that you compound it. Alright? That's why we divide this interest rate by 4. And this bracket, remember, how to get the 8? It's actually 2 years, right? 2 years, in the 2 years, every year 4 times, that's why it's 8 lah. Okay? So this is your application of P1 plus R over 100N. Okay, where this N is the number of times compounded, this is the interest rate for the number of for that period that you compound. Okay, so you need to find that 3 months how many percent, but because this is for 1 year. All right, and take note, they want the interest. This is the total amount. Okay, so they like to test you on total amount. Sorry, not total mother, total amount. All right, so you have to take this total amount minus your principal this is your interest. Okay, and remember for money, you must round off to the nearest cents, that means 2 dp. Okay, so that's all for this particular question. Next, we have, okay, why such a blank space there? Is that number 7? Okay, now 8. We go to number 8. Okay, number 8 requires you, as I mentioned, this kind not commonly tested in the O levels, but it can be tested also. Okay, normally when they ask you to find standard deviation, you just need to press calculator, right? Use the mode and all that. But as I told you before, right, there's this formula in your formula sheet. Okay, so this formula are meant for this kind of questions. Okay, this summation means add up all together all the frequency times x. Okay, this one means add up all the frequency. So the mean is this fella, and if you notice, right, this mean is here. Can see that this and this are the same. Okay, so this is what we call mean of the squares. This one is the square of the mean. Alright, then you take the square root, that's all. Okay, now how do we do this question? Many of you did it without correcting the value. I think you simply read this and then you read this. You didn't read the corrected. Okay, so there is this one observation that is wrong. This fella is wrong. The correct one is this fella. So when you add up all the x, right? When you add up all the x, you need to remove this 20 and replace it with the 30, right? So the summation x, the correct one should be this one. Okay, and similarly, because you go add up all the x square, right? So you actually squared this and you added up here. Right now you have to remove that and add in this correct one. Square the 30, add in here. So this is the corrected one. And once you have done that, you can just apply this formula already, okay? Because your x square is this fella. Then the summation, all the frequency, there are 16 of them, right? Okay, throw here. Then this one, throw here, that's it. Okay? So you will ask me, this F, what is this F? Down here don't have F. This F, right, means the data, if there are 22, let's say 22 let's say 22, that is your data X. Then there are 322, then it will be 3 times this. Okay, but you don't need to do that because this one already, the 16 observations, they already added up everything for you already. That means the F is inside already. Okay, so you don't need to be bothered about the F. Press calculator and then leave your answer in 3SF. SD normally is 3SF. Okay, now let's move on. Now this is a very sad question. Why sad? Because it reveals our weakness in algebra. The whole class, many of you, right, you know how to do. Yes, very good. You see this, then you break this up into this. Break this up into this. This part, many of you got it correct because there's only one thing here. This part is very sad. Okay, why sad? Because when you so-called cross multiply, you remember to times this, no problem, but you forgot to times this. So many of you wrote 2k plus 1 and then whole thing wrong already. Alright, you couldn't get the answer. Yeah. How to overcome this problem? Probably you want to not skip steps from now on. What to do? We have to, you know, since Sec 3, our very first class quiz, remember we are the lowest in the whole level. It shows that we are very weak in algebra. Okay, we have improved a lot already, but we cannot afford this kind of mistakes. Okay, so what you can do now is this is 2k plus 1, right? Then you multiply by minus throughout. They be minus 2k minus 1. Okay, which is what I've gotten here. But let me just explain. This x is less than 3. That is this here, right? doesn't include, see, doesn't include. Then x greater than something, we know that it's greater than minus 2, which means that this fella is still minus 2, and then you can find the answer. Okay, so it's a waste, the what you call that, the second part, right, not multiplied, okay. Okay, now this part reveals these gaps in understanding for your sets. So please listen carefully. Many of you didn't get this correct. Okay, now you look at this universal set. Alright, okay, sorry. This part here very good lah. This part here, I think you all use the overlap method. Not a problem. Okay, but there are still a few of you who got it wrong. Now what this means is A union means combine, right? Union means combine. Whatever you see shade, like that. Intersect means overlap. Okay, overlapping region. So this is the main concept. So if I have, okay, maybe I draw here another one. So you can do a rough sketch. Do a rough sketch. This is your A, this is your B, right? Okay, and then this is a universal set. Okay, A union B outside. So you shade this way, right? Everything A and everything outside B, I shade. Yeah, you use this method, won't go wrong. But I'm going through this because there are people who got it wrong. Okay, then the other way. Now you shade the other way, okay? We shade this. We don't overlap first. A, outside A union B. That means B, everything I shade, but I shade the other way. Okay? And it must be outside A. So I shade all these. Outside A, right? So which are the so-called overlapping region? Just now I didn't shade here, right? Oh, sorry. Okay, so the overlapping region are these parts here. Okay, then you just ignore this part, then you get this answer. Okay, yeah, please use this method. Those who got it wrong. Now, this part here, we will now slow down a bit. Okay, very importantly, do you see the braces here? This is a set, universal set, right? So it has braces. This is a set, right? So it has braces. This is a set, right? So it has braces. Am I right? This is the first thing you must know. Okay? Sets have braces. Okay? You repeat a few times. Sets have braces. Like that. Okay. Then now you look all this. This fella is the element. So I can say that 0, 1. This is an element, right? Okay. By the way, okay, later through. This is an element of A. This is correct. Okay, but you cannot say 0 is an element of A. That's wrong already. It must be coordinates, then it's an element of A. Alright? That's the first, that's the second point already. Okay, I erase all this, very confusing. Okay, now the third thing is this. It's not here, but if I say number of things in A, then it will just be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 things. Okay, no bracket, no braces. Number of things in B is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 things. Okay, so that's the third thing. Number of things. Okay, clear so far? Okay, now the third thing is this. Fourth thing is this. Proper set. Okay, proper set. For you to write proper set, in the very first place, this must be a set. What you write here must be a set, right? Then what you write here must be a set, right? You cannot write an element here. If you write an element here, can you write an element here? You cannot write an element is proper. See, the name is proper subset. Okay, so if I say that an element is a proper subset of A, then wrong already. What? For example, if I say 0, 1, 0, 1, this is an element, right? How can you say an element is a subset of this fella? Cannot. Yeah, when you say this proper subset, right? You are saying that this is a set already. But this is when you write 0, 1, it's not a set. It is an element. So this is wrong, I see. So the only way you can write is like maybe set C is a is a proper subset of A. This is correct because this is a set, this is a set. Can. Alright? Okay, okay, now let's go to the question. I think probably 5 things are more or less what you can absorb for now. Okay, look at the first one. Anyway, the answers all there already. Why is the first one wrong? You think about it. I try to erase this. Okay, why is the first one wrong? A intersect B. Set A intersect set B give you 1, 2. I know many of you think like that. Intersect means overlap, right? So we are common. 1, 2, common. Why wrong? It's correct what? You think it's correct what? Why like that? I go back to my first point. Set must have braces. Set must have braces. Set must have braces. Correct? A intersect B. Is this a set? Yeah, this is a set. Then you never have braces. If you do like that, then it's correct, lor. Okay. Now you are saying this statement not say you lah, the statement. Now you're okay, the statement you are saying that this set is actually this element. Cannot what? Cannot. You must have braces. Like that. Cannot. Okay. So that's the reason why it's wrong, lor. Okay, like that, then it's correct. Okay. Okay, now we go to the second part. Now you look at this. Now you know it. Yeah. Braces means a set. But then how can a braces then 1, 5? 1, 5, there's no 1, 5 here. You say have what? There 1, 5. No, it's not like that one. Okay, if you want to say like that, then you must say this set is a subset of A. Okay, and this set is this pair of coordinates 1, 5. That is correct. Okay, are we clear? So this question really tests you on understanding. Okay, so I'm okay with this question. Okay, now the next one, empty set. This one is an empty set, right? Another way to represent empty set is you draw the braces. You see, I told you already, sets must have braces. Then you don't do anything. You don't write anything inside. Do not write this. You write this, right? It's wrong. This is not empty set. This one, this set has a 0 inside or O inside. Okay. So I hope you are taking down notes. Okay, now isn't an empty set a proper subset of every set? Hidden inside here is an empty set, but we don't write lah. We don't write. You see, you know what I mean? It's like y equals mx plus c, right? Then later I have the line like that. Y equals 2x. Actually, it is 2x plus 0, right? There's a constant there, but we don't write. You see, something like that, no? There's an empty set, empty set in every set. So even this is true, even this is true. Okay, we clear? Yeah. So never mind. You don't know, you learn now. You forgot, you also learn now lah. Okay, not to worry one. So all this we clear already. Now is 2, 6 an element. 2, 6 is a coordinate, right? Coordinates 2, 6 is it an element of A union B? A union B then complement means you combine these two together, then outside of these two sets. Correct, right? It's not in these two sets, right? So it must be an element of this set that is not the combination of these two, right? Yeah, so this is correct. Okay? By the way, I write correct here. It doesn't mean correct. I mean, we have settled it already. Okay, now the last one. A is a proper subset of B. Now, you must understand this very well. Proper subset means A, this set, right, is totally inside B. It cannot even be sticking out. It cannot even be sticking out like that. Cannot. It cannot be like that, huh? Cannot be like that, okay? Yeah. It is totally inside. Not only that, proper subset, right? You must have B must have things that I don't have. That means they cannot be equal. Alright, so I give you an easy example. For example, A is 1, 2. Got 1, 2 inside only. Then B is 1, 2. Can or not? Cannot. I cannot say 1, 2. Then you don't have anything that I don't have. Cannot. But if it's 3, can. That means I am totally inside you. You have something I don't have. Can. Alright? So I hope we are clear on this. Oh, this question, only these two correct. Okay, now next one. This one. The difference of the two roots of the equation is 13 units. Now, one look at this, you should know that you can use, it may not seem very obvious to you, but you cannot do this, right? Cannot, right? But you can do this, you see. You can do this, so minus b plus minus b squared minus 4c all over 2a, right? You can do this. And then why? Because there are two different roots inside. And of course, when we talk about the difference being positive, we take the bigger. The bigger is the one with the plus minus the smaller. And that will give you positive number. If this is a negative number, then of course you take the smaller minus the bigger. Okay? Now, how do you evaluate this? It's very obvious. Minus 9 no more, right? This minus, so it's 2 times of this. Okay, so 2 over 6. That's why it become 1/3 only. Okay, then you cross multiply, ding ding dong dong, then you can get answer. Okay? Finish. Next one. This one, very sad story. Why sad story? Some of you, in fact, many of you left this blank. Why leave blank? You never draw diagram. Never draw diagram, then cannot do already. Yeah. Always draw a diagram, okay? Now, in this particular question, we are talking about a cube and a sphere. The cube being inside a sphere. Alright, so I'm going to draw a cube. Cube means the sides are the same. You see, you don't draw, right? Very hard to visualize. Then you waste all your brain cells, kill all your brain cells in the exam. Then you are too tired to think already. Okay, then you have a sphere, because this what? This cube, okay, it's a sphere, although it doesn't look like a sphere. Okay, now what do we do? You remember whether it's a sphere or a circle, the very important thing is the radius, or what we call the diameter, right? Very important. You must be strategic in drawing where the radius or the diameter is. Because if you don't draw strategically, you anyhow draw, you cannot get the answer. Alright? So I'm going to draw it. Okay, never mind, I don't know how to change color. Okay, I hope you understand. From this vertex to this vertex. Okay, so when I do it this way, okay, I draw another. Okay, each drawing seems to get worse. Okay, never mind. This is I let this be x, let this be x, let this be x. Okay, don't you agree that this is a right angle? So this part here will be square root x square plus x square. That would be square root of 2x square, right? And this part here, okay, and this part here, again I can get a right angle triangle. So when I find this diagonal, right, this diagonal, correct? Correct. Okay, so I go and square this then square root of this one square plus 2x square lah. Then I can get square root of 3x square, which is actually square root of 3x. Okay, now what this means is this diagonal here is square root of 3x, correct? But this diagonal here also is equals to, this is the center of the sphere, okay? Isn't this r and this r? So it's equals to 2r. Then you ask me, do this for what? Because you see, they want you to find the volume of the cube. Volume of the cube. So volume of a cube is x cube, right? But they want it to be in terms of r. Okay? That's why, lor. That's why you have to find a relationship between x and r so that you can later sub, right? This into here, there. Then you can get the answer already. Okay? Now, again, do not leave inserts for Emaths. Do not leave inserts, okay? You leave it in 3SF here because this is like considered not saying not exact lah, but you leave it in the 3SF, okay? Yeah, it's like computing. You calculate, then you get this 1.54. But of course, you must have the R cube. Alright, okay, now we go to the next one. The scale. Okay, this question very simple lah. The first one is always the map and then actual. This is the what we call the length scale. Then they tell you that the reservoir has this actual length. Okay, so we want to talk about area, right? Want to talk about area scale. Then you go and square these. Everything will be squared. Square these. Everything will be squared. Okay, then you times 0.75 here, times 0.75 here, then you get 0.7, sorry. Then you get the answer already, finish. Okay, now the next one. Next one, ABCD is a rhombus. Rhombus, it means this, same as this, same as this, same as this. The property is called sides of a rhombus. Okay, now ABCD is a rhombus. Okay, this one BD such that dy equal YB. Very happy. This thing, right, you must state, you must state in your reason that is given. Okay, here. You don't state, you don't say. If you don't say this given, right, you won't get the marks. Okay, if you simply say dx equal yb, they will say, how do you know? You must say given. Okay, so given is a reason. Okay, show that the triangle ADX is congruent, same shape, same size as ABY. Alright, we already have this. This pair same, right? Then we already know this. So is it this, or this? This one cannot be, because we don't know this, we don't know whether this is isosceles or we don't know. Yeah, when we don't know whether it's equilateral or not, we don't know. This one is very likely because we know this. And we know this and this are equal. Why? Okay, let us say this first. This and this equal. Okay, so we have the side already. This is the side, okay. Now we're going to show that this angle is the same. Now, this angle and this angle, they are opposite sides of rhombus. Opposite angles of rhombus, so they are equal. And the thing that you need to know is that the diagonal of a rhombus bisects the interior angle. That means this angle equal this angle, this angle equal this angle. So of course this angle must be equal to this angle. Finish already. Okay, remember, many of you are still not stating SAS. The test must state the test. Alright, now the next one, very boring, not say very boring, irritating, the COVID again, COVID. So this one used for 24 hours. This box and whiskers shows surgical mask and reusable mask. Okay, how they perform in the PFE test. Okay, now remember, this box and whiskers, right, is important. This is the minimum, this is the maximum. The line here is the median. This line, this lower part here is the lower quartile. This is the upper quartile, can? Or what we call the Q. This is the Q3, Q1, this is Q2. Alright, so this is the concept. Some of you don't know the concept. Okay. Find the range. Range means the maximum minus the minimum. Okay, so PFE for reusable mask, this is the maximum, this is the minimum. Now, this question, some of you don't know how to read the scale, don't know how to read the scale. So, I just quickly go through. You see how many boxes there are, then you see how many units. So, 10 boxes represents 5 units. That means one box is 0.5 lah. That means 2 boxes is 1 lor. So 61, 62, 63, 64, 65 lah. 66, 67, 68, 70 like that, you see. Okay, so when I have one box like that, right, it is 74.5. Alright. Here, you see? Can you see here? You go and count, actually it's just 75 minus 0.5 lah, so it's 74.5 minus 61. You see, this is 61. Yeah, so that's how you get the answer. Is there unit? No unit. Anyway, paper 1 very simple. If there's a unit, right, they will actually help you to write the unit there. Okay. Now, interquartile range for the surgical mask. You must read carefully, reusable mask and surgical mask. So surgical mask, right, interquartile range is this Q value, Q3 minus the Q1. So you go and read the graph, right, you get these two answers. And then you go and minus, that's all, okay? Now make 2 comparisons. Now, normally when they say make 2 comparisons, and then you are able to find, in this case, right, the median here and the median here, you use the median to compare first, okay? Then after that, because you can also find the interquartile range, right? Then you use the interquartile range to compare, alright? Very, very, very simple, standard answers one. So you go and check, okay? The main thing you need to say, oh, cannot, I want to highlight, cannot highlight. Okay, so the scores are lower, okay, for the reusable mask. Why? Because the median is lower than the median of this. You must state these 2 medians, okay, must be stated. Now, when you talk about interquartile range, then you talk about consistency or the spread. Okay, so it is less consistent if the interquartile range is larger than the other one. Clear? Okay, so this part, please do not mess up. There are still people who cannot do this, and we've done it so many times. Okay, factorize completely this one. Now, some of you simply did one time. Now, you look at the question, 2 marks, right? Cannot do one time only, you see. And you must be able to recognize that this can be simplified to this. Okay? And some of you left this blank. You must see that this is difference of 2 squares. So this is x squared minus y squared. And if it can be written in this form, then one is a plus, one is a minus. Alright? Yeah. Then after that, of course, you continue from here. Okay? Now the next one, we have almost every year, the question is the same. Alright? When you have 4 things like that, 4 things like that, okay, then you want to express y in terms of x. You go and do our previous year's paper, right? Even last year's paper also. Every year we have this. Okay. Can you see that this can it be factorized? Can it be factorized? Cannot, right? Cannot be factorized. If cannot be factorized, then what you do is you change this to this part, because this last term here must be positive, this first term must be positive. So the 1 stays here, which means that now you can factorize this, okay? And once you can factorize this, you square root both sides. Then you can find the y already, make y the subject. Then you get these two answers. Now, quite a few of you managed to get this, but in your answer, you simply write this. Okay? Wrong. Why? Because it say express y in terms of x. You must have a y here. Okay? That's how you wrote for one only, the other one never write. Cannot. You must write for both. Alright? Now, another method is this. I don't know whether you can see or not. This method is harder to see. X squared minus 2xy equal this, right? You make y the so-called that means you make y the so-called subject or you make it the 主角 that means this is in terms of ax squared plus bx plus c. This is your c. You follow? Then you minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Then you go and expand, and then you get this also. Alright, so this is another method that you can use. Alright, you have to, that means if you want to find y, you think of making, rearranging it such that it's ay squared plus by plus c. This c has no y at all, so that it's just a number. Alright, okay, now we go to the next one. Now this bird one is almost the same as your Sec 2, all those questions where you first learned angle of elevation, angle of depression. Okay, so a diagram will be useful, alright? Many of you don't draw diagram. You don't have this habit. Now, you must have this habit. Okay? Drawing a diagram, right, is really going to help you. So you see, there is a bird sitting on the top T. Okay, so this is the bird. On a vertical pole, 20 meters above ground. And the angle elevation of the bird from a point on the ground is 45. So from the point O on the ground, this point O, right, you look up, you will, when you tilt up 45 degrees, right, you will see this bird. Okay? Now the bird takes 1 second. This is important because this is time. To fly horizontally at a constant speed from T is here, to a point B that's away from O. You see, the story is like so ultra long, right? So if you don't have a diagram to guide you, you definitely can't do, you see. So it is flying away from O. That means it's not going towards O. It's flying away from O. Maintaining a constant height of 20. That means it's flying horizontally lah. Okay, the angle elevation of the bird from B to O. So B is here. Is reduced to 30. That means now to look at the bird, right, you don't have to look so high an angle. So this, sorry, by the way, this is a straight line. And then this is still 20. Don't you agree you can do the question already? Okay. How to do? This is 20. This is 20. We can find this length. We can find this length also, because this is 30. Okay, so you find OA, that is, okay, this is A, that is 20. You find OC, okay, then you will be able to find this distance. So speed is distance divided by time, but because it's only 1 second, you see, so you actually divide this by 1, and then that will be your answer already. Your answer is exactly this, because it takes 1 second to fly horizontally across. Alright? So those who left this blank or those who make a mess of this, when you get back your paper on Monday, you will see, you follow the method that I do here, okay? Translate English to either a diagram or mathematical language. Diagrams come first, of course, for this kind of question. Now, the next part is on proportion. It's a proportion question. Now, the population n is inversely proportional to the square root. Inversely proportional means I throw it downstairs. And t greater than 0. Okay, find the percentage decrease in the temperature when the population is doubled. So there's a O value and there's a O stuff. Okay, I also have a new set of values because the population is doubled. So the new population is 2n. Okay, this one you take note first. So you follow me, okay? Follow me how I do it. At first I write this relationship. Then I write this relationship. Then I see what they want me to find. They want me to find T. T. So I make T the subject. You and me, we change place. Then I square both sides. So this is my equation. This is my main equation, which means that this is the OT. The OT. OT. I'm going to see now how I can get this value here so that I can bring the OT inside here. Then I will know how many times it has changed. Okay, so that's the idea. So I'm going to slowly do it with you. K will never change. That's why it's called a constant K. You will never change. Yeah. Okay. What will change are n, which has already changed to 2n. So I put here 2n. Whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, whole thing must be squared. Many of you write 2n square, gone case, because you didn't square the 2. The new one, you square this, you must square this whole thing, what? Correct? So that's why many of you didn't get the mark. After this, it'll be k over 4n square. Now, k square, sorry. K square over n square. Isn't that your old time? So your new time is 1/4 of your old time. So don't you agree, just by using your kindergarten work, right? From one whole, it went down to 1/4 whole. So definitely is 75% decrease, right? But if you want to show working, then you take the new one. Okay, new one. Okay, you don't need to throw in the algebra. New one is 1/4, right? Minus the old one, that's 1 whole, over the new minus O over O. Why I write here new? Okay, O. So the O is 1, right? Okay, you get minus 75%. The minus tells you it's a decrease. But in your working, you don't put the minus, because they're already asking for a decrease. So you just put 75%. Finish. Okay, so that's all for number 17. Next one. Leroy has written 4 numbers. Now, this one is very badly done. Okay. How to do it correctly? You again, right, ladies and gentlemen, have a visual to guide you. Alright, I don't see people doing this. There are some who did this, but most of you don't. You're just doing all the algebra, which is very tedious on your brain. Okay, so Leroy has written down 4 numbers. The 4 numbers are the mean of these 4 numbers are these. That means the average is this. You times 4. We times 4, that'll be the total. So this is important. The total is this. You definitely need to use it later. And please, you must write total or you write the sum. You must have some sort of working. You don't expect the examiner to know your 8x. That means some of you didn't write this also. You don't expect the examiner to know what this represents, because there are so many things here. Okay, so These kind of things you must show, okay? You must show that this is total so that you can get some method mark. Alright? If everything smooth, everything all correct, then no need lah. But I'm trying to get you method marks. Okay, the mean of this form, okay, we have done this already. The median is x plus y. Okay, now you think about it. Median is the middle number. But there's no middle number here. It's like a ghost. That means it must be the average of these two, right? The average of these two is... Okay, let me call this... What did we call this? Okay, so this is A lah, B lah, C lah, D, right? So B plus C going to divide by 2, the average of these two numbers, right, must be equals to this x plus y. Okay, so B plus C must be equals to 2x. Remember, this times this times this also must multiply by both. Yeah, like that. Okay, so B plus C, this plus this must be 2x plus y. Clear? Okay, now the mode, the mode is x minus y. Now, can you see there are four numbers. Let's say this is x minus y. Okay? Definitely, because there are four numbers, right? Definitely I need another number having x minus y. Then maybe this is the mode lah. That means there are only two x minus y. Now ask yourself, can it be another x minus y here? Cannot, right? Because if it's x minus y, then the median would be x minus y also, right? But the median is not. The median is this. So it means there are only two, maximum two. Then you ask me, why cannot have four? If it's four, right? If it's four, then this four don't add up to this, what? Don't add up to this. So cannot be four. Cannot be three also. Do you follow? Cannot be three because of this this median here. Okay, so it must be two only. Understand? That means my that means my this one of the number, the C, right, must be this minus this. Okay, that's why I wrote here this minus this. So this is x plus 3y. Okay, and finally total minus this 2 minus this, that will give me this. Understand? So that's all okay, so that's it. Okay, this one very easy. This one if you didn't get it's because you didn't really look carefully Okay, so this diagram shows an equilateral triangle with a side of 1 unit. Okay, an inverted white whatever is removed to form diagram 2. That means this fella removed it. Diagram 2 come out already. 3 inverted white of length 1/4 unit is then removed from here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you see that? Then process continues this way. Okay. Now find expression in terms of n for the total number of black triangles in diagram n. Diagram n. Okay, so you need to find the pattern. The systematic way is, okay, diagram 1, how many black? Diagram 2, how many black? Diagram 3, how many black? You can count. So that's it. So what do you think is the pattern? Can you see that it is times 3, times 3, times 3, so on and so forth? But when n equals 1, it's 1, right? So it's n minus 1. Okay, yeah, I hope you are clear. Now the next one, for taking the area of diagram 1 to be A, find expression in terms of A and n for the total area of the black triangles in diagram n. Okay, so actually the answer is here I just hope that you can see what I'm doing here. This area is A, right? This area is 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 black out of 4. triangles A, like that. Then this one, you go and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it is actually 3, 6, 9 out of 16. Okay, you will find that it's times 3/4, times 3/4, times 3/4. But again, the first one don't have 3/4, so it is a matter of n minus 1. Like that. Okay, so you learn all these skills. That's all. Okay, now the next one. This figure 1 shows this isosceles trapezoidal prism. No big deal lah. It's just the cross section, right, is a trapezium, meaning that this is parallel to this, and then this length equal to this length. That is what they mean. Isosceles trapezoidal prism. There's so many letters. Don't be scared by it. We must be fearless. No big deal. Then x, 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 x. Everything same. All x1. Okay? The faces A, B, F, E, and D, whatever, are perpendicular to the base A, B, C, D. So what they're saying, they are trying to tell you that they are perpendicular The A, B, F, E, this face. That means if I were to look from this side, right, then this is a right angle. This is a right angle. Clear? Okay, okay. So they are just trying to tell you that it's a prism lah. It's a prism. Okay, now this part is important. It tilted to form a 30-degree angle. This also 30. So what do you think this is? 30, 30, 60. So this must be 120, right? Water is then filled into this empty container at this rate. So this is the speed. Definitely later we need to use this. So put a star there. Otherwise later you will forget, Okay? Or you may want to like that. Don't know go where don't know go where. Don't know which part they will ask you. Okay? Now, assume that the thickness of the container is negligible. Not important. Find an expression in terms of x for the height of the water level just before the water overflows. The water will overflow here, right? Water will overflow here. So just before, so this is the height they want. Isn't it, okay, in terms of height, isn't it this one opposite hypotenuse? Opposite hypotenuse, sine. You use sine. So h equals to x sine 30. That's half x. Don't leave like that. Don't leave your answer as x sine 30. No, you got calculator. Like that. Okay? Quite a few of you left it as x sine 30 or cosine 60. No. You can press calculator, or you can. This is a special angle. You must be able to recognize it. Like that. Answer is like that. Okay? So that's the height. Finish already. Okay, now the next part, right? Find the time it takes to first fill this. So many of you, because you blindly do, right? You think you read already, and then you think that, I know already. Must be this, like that. You go and do this, right? You think that it must be this, but it's not this. Yeah, it's not this. Okay, it is not. So what is this? Because they already give you the speed here, right? That means they tell you 1 minute x cube, like that. So if I can find the actual volume, I take this divided by this, then I will be able to find the number of minutes already. Okay, so I just need to find the actual volume. And can I find the actual volume? Can, because everything has been given to me. To find this area, isn't it this area? Isn't it half AB sine C? AB sine C. 120, okay? 120, sorry. I think I rewrite. 120, okay? So this is the cross-sectional area and the depth. Not how deep it is, the cross-sectional area, how the depth here is x, right? So it's half x squared this thing, which give you this thing, and then you just divide, finish. No need to third form, no need. You straight away can go to how many seconds, finish already. Okay, of course this is in minutes. Whatever your this you can work in your 5SF, then you convert, you times 60, right? You will get this. Okay, round off to the nearest second. Okay, now this question last year, mid-year, we have done before, and when we did revision, right, I also reprinted this particular question, something like that for you. But many of you, I think, didn't learn. You need to learn, okay? You need to learn from your mistakes, okay? So, this closed inverted conical container, this fella, this is the radius, this is the height, this is the other height, okay, and it fills to a depth of 15, then it's inverted, okay, this fella you go invert, then become like that. But before we come here, you know why not? We have to settle everything here because this amount of water is similar to this container. So we work with this using the volume V1 over V2 equals to L1 L2 cube, that formula, this fella. Just now the one cannot, just I don't know where, I think it's here. Just now the one cannot, okay, but this one can. Alright? Because they are similar. But this one cannot, this one cannot. This one you cannot say this volume of water is similar to this volume of water. Cannot. It must be here a cone shape. Yeah, similar to a cone shape. Please be very clear about this, okay? So let's start. How to start? Okay, I know that this H1 over H2 is 15 over 25. That would be 3 over 5. Correct? Correct, Okay, so this will be my amount of water, V1 over V2 equals to 3 over 5 cube. 27 over 125. Agree? That means this part here is like 27 27 unit cube. This big one the container, right, is 125. The big one is 125. You follow? Okay, now when I invert, the container will be the same, right? The container will be the same, but down here, it will not be 20, would it be 27? It will not be, okay, let me screw up, I show you the working, okay? This part I've done already, this part I've done already, okay, this part done already. You can do it either this way or this way or this way. You can take a look, okay. I want to show you here the volume of the small upright cone. Upright cone means this one. This part here, okay, and the volume of the cone, that's still 125. This whole thing is 125. This part here is 98. You follow? Okay, so this part here is 98. Down here is 98. Okay, not here. Here is different. Here the water already dispersed like that. So this part is 98. This whole thing is 125. Okay, then you tell me, do like that for what? Okay, so now you see, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this to help me solve the question. Okay, this should be dotted. Okay, we know that this is H. And we know that this is 25. So isn't this 25 minus H? Okay, and just now we already said what? This part is 98. This whole thing is 125. Okay, you remember here? Remember here, okay. So what I need to do, right, is just this, H1 over H2, see, H1 over H2, small cone over big cone equals to 98 over, the whole thing is 125, okay, 125 like that. Then you cross multiply, ding ding dong dong, you get the answer. Finish. Okay, you don't believe, you go and see your last year mid-year paper. No, is it mid-year? End of year paper is something like that one in paper 2, okay? Now, the next one. Actually it's a very easy question. You want to find EAF. Okay, you read the question first, These two are tangents, okay? And this OAB is 56 lah, like that. Okay, no big deal, okay? So you just check everything all labeled. This is the center, okay? I don't know how to find EAF. EAF is here. Okay, very simple. You don't just look here, okay, in circles. If you look here, then nothing, then you look big. Okay, look big. So don't you agree that these are opposite angles of cyclic quad? So this plus this must be equal to 180. Then you can get this answer already. Okay, you go and look at this. Most of you lost marks because your reason is not correct. Okay, so when you get back the paper, please learn the properties. Some of you even left blank. Okay, so this part very easy to find. Now after you have found this, how to find BOG? BOG here. Okay, BOG is very simple also. You know that this is 56, so this must be 56. Then you can get this as 68. Is it 68? Yeah, 68. And because this is 90, and you know these are tangents from external points, they are equal, right? 19, then you get the answer already. Okay, so that's all. Now let's move on to the last question. Last question, it may seem very complicated. You know the what curate connect. Remember the curate connect that thing, right? Every day see one, Okay, a game has two sets of whatever. Don't care lah, they can give you whatever. An icon is chosen, then okay, no big deal lah, no big deal. Okay, that means it's like bag 1, bag 2, or box 1, box 2. You choose one from here, and then you choose another one from here. Okay, so then they explain to you here already, like that. Okay, no big deal lah. Okay, cancel it. You understand already, you cancel, so messy. Okay, find the probability that on one turn means you draw exactly what they say here lor. Okay, you draw this Nanchao and Nanchao. So Nanchao, there are 4 here, so it's 4 out 8. Finish. Followed by and 2 out 8. Finish. That's all. Okay. Try to give what you call that, fraction answer. Yeah, exact answer. Okay. Now at least one. Now this at least always is like that one. You find not Nanchao and not Nanchao. Not and not. So not Nanchao is 4 out 8, right? Not Nanchao for the second one is 6 out 8, right? Then you go and minus. That's all. Okay? Those who don't understand why like that, right? Please PM me. I will show you, I'll prove it to you why like that. Because we have proven it last time before already. Okay, now the second part, right, is they go and reprogram the thing. No two same icons will appear in the display. What are they talking about? For example, so they give example. If this is chosen in set 1, this will be removed from set 2. Then the icon will be randomly chosen from the remaining 6 icons as shown in the diagram below. You clear? So this is an example for you. Now they want you to draw the tree diagram to show the probability. So this is it lor. Okay, so you have to be very careful. in certain cases, right, there are only 6 left. Can you see, can you see that, as I always mentioned, can you see here, sorry, deduct 1 mark if not in simplest form. Okay, so please leave your answer in the simplest form. Luckily, many of you did. This is actually 2 out of 3. Like that. Then you reduce to the simplest form. Okay, so this is the answer. Go and check. Okay, that's it. That's it for this video. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.